I caught her live streaming from my bedroom to her OnlyFans while I was asleep in the background. When I woke up, she said, "Relax. I'm making us money." I didn't argue. I just packed my things and left. She's called 73 times since crying that she deleted her OnlyFans account. Let me start by saying I'm not against content creation or people doing what they want with their own image. What I am against is having my privacy violated while I'm literally asleep. And that's exactly what happened 3 weeks ago. My girlfriend, Tessa, 26, and I, 28, had been together for just over a year. We met at a friend's housewarming party, bonded over our mutual love of obscure 90s cartoons, and things progressed naturally from there. About 4 months ago, she moved into my apartment. It made sense at the time. Her lease was ending. We were spending most nights together anyway, and splitting the rent would help us both save money. Tessa works in marketing, though her hours were cut during recent company restructuring. She went from full-time to part-time, working just Tuesday through Thursday. I'm a network administrator for a local healthcare system, so my income is stable but not extravagant. With her reduced hours, our combined income took a hit. We weren't desperately struggling, but the comfort margin we'd enjoyed was definitely gone. Bills got paid, but savings had stalled, and we'd started having those tense, "Do we really need this?" conversations at the grocery store. About 2 months ago, Tessa started mentioning how some of her friends were making easy money on subscription content platforms. She'd bring it up casually, gauge my reaction, then drop it when I didn't show much interest. I always changed the subject because, frankly, it wasn't something I was comfortable discussing. Not because I'm a prude. It just wasn't something I wanted in my relationship. I began noticing small changes around the apartment. New packages arriving that Tessa would quickly tuck away. A makeup organizer that appeared in our bathroom with brands I'd never seen her use before. Once I found a small LED light in her nightstand drawer when I was looking for a charger. When I asked about it, she said it was for better selfie lighting for her Instagram. Made sense, so I didn't think much of it. Fast forward to 3 weeks ago. It was a Saturday morning, and I'd had a rough week dealing with a system migration that went sideways. I was exhausted and sleeping in. Somewhere in that half-awake, half-asleep state, I became aware of Tessa's voice. She was talking softly, but animatedly, which was odd since she's usually not a morning person. I reluctantly opened my eyes expecting to see her on a phone call. Instead, I saw her sitting at the foot of our bed in lingerie, facing her laptop, which was open on the dresser. She was smiling, posing, and responding to comments that were scrolling by on the screen. It took my sleep-addled brain a few seconds to process what was happening. She was live streaming from our bedroom. While I was asleep in the background, I sat up abruptly. "What are you doing?" She startled slightly, but recovered quickly, turning to the camera with a laugh. "Look who's awake. Say hi, babe." "Tessa, are you streaming right now?" I was fully awake now, pulling the covers up to make sure I was covered. "Just a second, guys," she said to the camera, then put on a sweet smile for me. "Relax. I'm making us money. Go back to sleep if you want. You're not even visible. Turn it off. Now." My voice was calm, but firm. She rolled her eyes, clearly annoyed at being interrupted. "Don't be so uptight. I've been doing this for weeks and it's good money. We could use the extra cash. Remember that hit me like a bucket of ice water." Weeks. She'd been streaming from our bedroom for weeks without my knowledge or consent. "Turn it off," I repeated, getting out of bed. Thankfully, I was wearing pajama pants and stepping out of the camera's view. With an exaggerated sigh, she turned back to the laptop. "Sorry, everyone. I have to cut this short. My boyfriend's being a killjoy. I'll be back tomorrow, same time." She closed the laptop and turned to me with an expression that was somehow both defensive and dismissive. "What's the big deal? I was just chatting and showing off some new outfits. It's all very tasteful, and they tip really well." I stood there trying to process this breach of trust. "The big deal is that you were filming me while I was asleep in my own bedroom without my knowledge or consent. How long has this been going on exactly?" "I don't know. Like 6 weeks. And I wasn't filming you. You were just in the background. Most of the time, you're not even here when I do it." 6 weeks. "You've been doing this for 6 weeks and never thought to mention it to me." She shrugged. I knew you'd overreact, like you're doing right now. That's when I looked around and really noticed our bedroom for the first time in weeks. The small LED light I'd found was now mounted on a flexible arm attached to the dresser and partially hidden by a stack of books when not in use. The laptop had a new webcam attached to it, nicer than the built-in one. And in the corner by the closet was what looked like a folded fabric screen. I'd been so busy with work lately that I hadn't registered these gradual changes to our space. You set up all this equipment in our bedroom without even mentioning it to me? I asked, gesturing around. I mostly set it up when you're at work and put it away before you get home. Besides, I needed good equipment to make it worth people's time. I was in an apartment that I paid 70% of the rent for since my income was significantly higher than Tessa's part-time salary, and she had turned it into her secret studio without a single conversation. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just felt a strange calm clarity wash over me. I'm going to take a shower, I said quietly. When I come back, I'd like to have a conversation about boundaries and respect. In the bathroom, I let the hot water run over me while I considered my options. This wasn't just about the streaming. It was about the complete disregard for my privacy, the secretive behavior, and the dismissive attitude when confronted. This was about trust, and mine had been thoroughly broken. By the time I finished my shower, I'd made my decision. I got dressed, grabbed my duffel bag from the closet, and started packing essential clothes and toiletries. Tessa watched from the doorway, her expression shifting from annoyance to confusion, to alarm as she realized what I was doing. Seriously, you're packing? Don't you think you're being a little dramatic? I continued folding a shirt and placing it in my bag. I don't think it's dramatic to leave a situation where my privacy has been violated. Oh my God. You can't even see your face in the streams. No one knows it's you. I paused and looked at her directly. That's not the point. And I think you know that. You've been broadcasting from our bedroom for 6 weeks without telling me. You set up equipment, created an account, built an audience, all while keeping me in the dark. And when I caught you, your response wasn't to apologize, but to tell me to relax because you're making us money. Money I never asked for and don't want. She switched tactics, her expression softening as tears welled in her eyes. I'm sorry. Okay. I should have told you. I was just embarrassed, and I didn't know how to bring it up. Please don't leave. I'll delete the account right now. This isn't about the account, Tessa. It's about the fact that you deliberately hid this from me, violated my privacy, and then tried to make me feel unreasonable for being upset. That's not how partners treat each other. So what? One mistake and you're just walking out. After a year together, I zipped up my bag. This wasn't a mistake. A mistake is forgetting to pick up milk or accidentally shrinking my sweater in the dryer. This was a series of deliberate choices made over 6 weeks, and I'm not just walking out. I'm removing myself from a situation where my boundaries clearly don't matter. Where are you even going? Go. She demanded, tears now streaming down her face. My friend Eric has a spare room. I'll stay there until I figure things out. You're choosing your friend over your girlfriend because of some stupid live streams. I shouldered my bag. No. I'm choosing to respect myself when you've shown you don't. I'll be back for the rest of my things later. I'll text you when I'm coming. As I headed for the door, she called after me. You're making a huge mistake. I was doing this for us. I turned back one last time. No, Tessa. You were doing this for you. That's the problem. I left and drove straight to Eric's place. He's been my friend since college and didn't hesitate when I called from the car explaining the situation. That's messed up, man. Come over, but we'll need to talk about how long you can stay. My girlfriend is moving in next month, so the spare room won't be available after that. It wasn't the unconditional offer I'd hoped for, but it was realistic and generous considering the circumstances. I thanked him and said I'd figure something out within a few weeks. By the time I arrived at Eric's, my phone had 17 missed calls from Tessa. I texted her that I was safe but needed space and would be in touch about collecting my remaining belongings. Then I silenced notifications from her. That evening, the calls continued. Eric and I were playing video games in his living room when my phone lit up for what must have been the 30th time that day. Dude, maybe you should answer, Eric suggested. She might be having a meltdown. That's not my responsibility anymore, I replied, sending another text asking her to stop calling and respecting my request for space. The next morning, I checked my phone to find 47 missed calls and a barrage of texts ranging from apologetic to angry to desperate. The final one sent at 3:42 a.m. read, "I deleted the account. All of it gone. Please come home." I didn't respond. On Monday, I took a personal day from work to go back to the apartment while I knew Tessa would be at her job. She only worked Tuesday through Thursday, so Monday was a safe bet. I texted her my plan, and she'd responded with a simple fine. When I arrived, I was surprised to find a note on the kitchen counter. "I'm sorry. I really messed up. I wasn't thinking about your privacy or how this would make you feel. I was only thinking about the money and how it could help us. I've deleted the account and gotten rid of all the equipment. Please give me another chance. I love you." Next to the note was a printed screenshot showing that her account had been deleted, along with a handwritten list of ways she would make it right, including couples counseling and a promise to be completely transparent moving forward. I packed up the rest of my clothes, my computer, important documents, and a few personal items, then left my tea on the counter. I didn't leave a note. There was nothing left to say. By the end of that first week, Tessa had called 73 times. She'd shown up at Eric's place twice, though I never came to the door, sent flowers to my office, and even contacted my sister on Facebook to try to get her to intervene on her behalf. My sister texted me. "Tessa reached out to me about your fight. Do you want to talk about what happened? I'm not taking sides, but it sounds serious." The calls gradually became less frequent as it became clear I wasn't going to engage. I spoke to my landlord, explained that I was moving out due to a relationship breakdown, and arranged to have my name removed from the lease. Since Tessa had been officially added when she moved in, she could choose to stay and cover the full rent or find a new place herself. Not my problem anymore. 2 weeks after I left, I received an email from Tessa. Unlike her frantic texts and calls, this was calm and thoughtful. "I've been doing a lot of thinking about what happened, and I want to sincerely apologize. Not just for the streaming, but for how I reacted when you caught me. You're right. It wasn't a mistake, but a series of choices I made without considering your feelings or right to privacy. I violated your trust, and then I tried to minimize it instead of taking responsibility. I'm truly sorry. I understand why you left and respect your decision. I won't contact you again after this. I just wanted you to know that I've learned from this experience and will carry that lesson forward. Take care of yourself, Tessa." I didn't respond to the email, but I did finally feel some closure. A month has passed now. I found a new apartment, a smaller one-bedroom that I can comfortably afford on my own. Eric helped me move in last weekend. It's strange starting over after building a life with someone for a year, but also refreshing in a way. The space is completely mine. My privacy is intact, and I don't have to worry about showing up in someone else's content without my knowledge. Through mutual friends, I heard that Tessa moved back in with her parents and found a new marketing job that actually pays better than her previous one. I wish her well, genuinely. I hope she learned something from all this. As for me, I've learned something too. Trust your instincts. When Tessa first started bringing up the idea of creating content online, something felt off. I should have addressed it directly then instead of changing the subject. Clear communication about boundaries might have prevented the whole situation, but more importantly, I've learned that respecting yourself sometimes means walking away from people who don't respect you, even if you care about them. It wasn't easy to pack that bag and leave, but it was necessary. The old me might have stayed, might have tried to work it out, might have convinced myself it wasn't that bad, but broadcasting someone while they're asleep without their knowledge or consent, then dismissing their concerns when caught. That crosses a line that can't be uncrossed. Sometimes the most powerful response isn't a big confrontation or elaborate revenge. Sometimes it's simply removing yourself from the situation and refusing to engage further. The 73 missed calls tell me that had more impact than anything I could have said or done.